Happy July. I am loving reading so many books because I have a little more time over the summer. So tell me in the comments below, what are you reading this summer? Are you loving it or not? Tell me about it. Let's talk books. So I've got a bunch of new books that are coming out just this July. Some have already released, some don't come out to the end of the month, and I cannot wait to tell you about them. So the first one is Faker by Gordon Corman, and it's so much fun. I can't believe I've never read anything by Gordon Corman before. It's about this boy, and he is part of a family of con artists. And so his father moves around and puts him in different schools, and the friends and the families that they befriend are those who they go ahead and con in different ways. And so it finishes off one con story, and then they leave that one and go on to the next adventures. And it talks about these different ways that they've gotten money from these families. But now in the new area that he's moved, it's not a ritzy boarding school, but rather just a regular old middle school. And he is given in a social studies class. The teacher gives him an assignment about ethics, and now all of a sudden he's really having to face these very real issues that he's never considered before, because he's always been like, well, the most important thing is about family, and we've got to make a decent living. And my dad only steals from people, he only cons them. He doesn't even use the word thief and stealing and things like that. He only does this to people who, they are in a position that they can afford this. And so there's always been these justifications. But now his world's turning upside down, and he's really just facing these very real issues. And also there's always middle grade, just life. There's always just the life of a middle schooler, right? That he has to deal with, like friends and cute crushes and family, because there's a sister in his life too. And just so much. It's a great book. I loved it. Definitely a 5-star. So go and check this out. Next we have Grow Up, Luchy Zapata. And this is a lot of fun. It's again just about kids' life, school, and moving on from elementary school, and it is time for middle school. And she's had these lifelong friends that she, is just so excited to go to school with one of them, that they've always been in a different school before, but now things are changing with her and her best friend. And her best friend, she's ready to grow up and, really embrace middle school and have all these changes. And Luchy, she's just not interested in that, but they are both interested in soccer. So there's the sports theme, and it's just great and heartwarming, and it's very real. Some of the things that Luchy does, it's like, hey, that wasn't cool. And she kind of faces up to that. And some of it, she, it's her point of view. And so maybe you might look at it and be like, hey, not cool. But it's just so real. It's such real middle school life and fun. And I love how it all comes together in the end. So this one, I don't know. I just thought it looked fun because it's about this boy and communicating with a llama. And so I'm reading it, and instantly I really loved Alan. He's just such a great character, and I love reading about him and his transition from living in city life to his grandma's worried about him, and he lives with only his grandma. And she wants to take him to this cabin home that she has up in the mountains in this really small community, and try a new, different kind of life so he can make some connections. And so going along, I'm really enjoying the journey, but I'm like, hey, where's the point with the talking llama? And so this part does come like much later in the book, and it's great when it gets there, but the journey getting there and getting to know Alan and the community where he has moved, this is also great as well. And it's all about, what happened to his parents, and there's a mystery surrounding that and the truth that he was never told. And I really enjoyed it. It's a great book. So as a child, I always enjoyed, I remember sitting around in like 6th grade, sitting in a circle, and we would read scary stories to tell in the dark and more scary stories to tell in the dark, and we'd pass it around at recess and we'd each read one. So this is such a fun one, and I was really excited to get it. It's called The Haunted States of America. So 52 stories, each of the states, and then Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico, that have a spooky story, and they each are a little bit different. There's a lot of variety there. Some are definitely spookier than others, and you can go through them quickly. Just pick a state and read, or read several in a row. And it's just a great little spooky set of stories that kids can enjoy at the summer around a campfire, or Halloween coming up, right? Or just any time of the year. Great book. All right, so the next one is a graphic novel, The Night Librarian. I mean, this is just so fun. It is like Night at the Museum, but in a library. So out of these books, there's just, books are magic, right? And so when you pile all these stories together and they're all in the same place, these characters come out of the book. And so they've got to figure out this mystery of who is causing these problems, what are the characters, and some of the characters band together with these kids to work together and solve the mystery. Just so much fun. I love it. So last year, Clara Poole and The Long Way Round came out, and it's about this girl who she kind of accidentally wrote a school project of just party balloons in a lawn chair. And then because of that, she got coerced to join this competition where from around the world, these pilots pilot these hot air balloons, but they're not just the regular hot air balloons. They've got extra something to it to be able to make it, you know, around the world. And so she gets into this, which she has no experience with it, and there's monkeys involved and a quirky old lady and then a very concerned father of hers and, you know, a backstory of sadness. And so it was great. I loved it so much. So then the sequel just came out, Clara Poole and The Wrong Way Up, and it's about Clara getting into Air Academy where she's going with other kids now to learn about flying these balloons. But there's a problem with it where they thought they were all admitted. It's actually going to be a competition. And so it's a lot of the same fun characters, a lot of fun, and just the same old Clara and her, you know, doubting herself and working to solve again a mystery, and just an exciting school for adventure, something quite different and unique than where other kids might normally go to school, and just really lots of fun, all taking place up in the air. And that sounds terrifying to me. So the last book we have for you is A Whisper of Curses. This is the sequel to A Taste of Magic. And I love this one. Like, I think it's even better than the first installment that came out. And so the first one is about this school for magic where they don't all go away like, you know, in Harry Potter, but it's like done on the weekends that they learn about being witches and wizards. And so in the first one, it was her story of figuring that out and trying to save her magic school that was having financial problems. So now, as she has become this leader, her and we get to have alternating chapters with her friend Ashley, who she met in the first book, and we learn about these other magical beings. And it's just, I love it. It's a lot of mystery, and they're on this island where it's like a spring break kind of excursion things where they're supposed to go and build their skills for magic. And so we have some of the same characters and meet a lot of new ones. And again, like I said, we get to learn about these creatures in the magical world that are unique and new and different. So just loved it. Great book. And so tell me in the comments below, which one do you most look forward to reading, and then subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and come back because I am reading new books every month to share with you, and I just love to share books for the kids in your life. Bye.